Let us see one more numerical on Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. This is actually not a numerical, but it's a fact, and because of this fact, which one realized by the use of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, completely changed the way we were thinking about the atomic structure. The concept is, the question is like, electron cannot exist inside nucleus. We all know electrons are present outside the nucleus, and they are, as per the Bohr's model, they are moving in this circular path which are called orbits or shells. Show this by using Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Can we show this, that the electrons cannot exist inside nucleus? Yes, we can show. Let us see how. See, if the electrons, like this is suppose is the nucleus, if the electrons are existing in this nucleus, we know its size, we know its range. Its range is 10 to the power minus 15 meter, which is called 1 Fermi. So if the electron is existing inside the nucleus, it can be present anywhere in this nucleus. So we can take the uncertainty in its position to be what, equal to 10 to the power minus 15 meters. We also know the mass of the electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Now with the help of this data, let us find out the uncertainty in the velocity of the electron, which will be associated with it. Now, once we assume that the electron is existing inside this nucleus, so therefore the uncertainty in its position will be equivalent to the size of the nucleus, which is actually 10 to the power minus 15, 1 Fermi, and its mass is this much. Let us find out the velocity, uncertainty in its velocity. We know the formula, it's delta x m delta v equal to h over 4 pi. Let us put the values. It's 10 to the power minus 15, mass of the electron 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, and delta v, the change in the uncertainty in the velocity. And I have told you this whole value, which is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 upon 4, and pi is 3.14. I told you this whole is 5.2 into 10 to the power minus 35. So now let us find out what is the uncertainty in the velocity of the moving electron is. It will be delta v, this whole we know is 5.2 into 10 to the power minus 35. This will be your 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, and minus 15 is minus 46. And when we solve this, what we get is 5.7 into 10 to the power 10. And this will be meters per second. See, this much uncertainty in the velocity of the moving electron comes out. Now, as such, it's fine, but we know that the speed of the light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So how can a particle can have uncertainty in its velocity greater than the speed of the light, which is not possible? Are you getting it? The photons have a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. And now the electrons, the uncertainty in the velocity of the electron is coming out to be much more than the speed of the light, which is practically is impossible. So it means what? The electrons cannot exist, they cannot exist inside the nucleus. The other interpretation we can draw out of this numerical is that we have got such a big number only because we are trying to keep this electron confined in such a small space, which is of a size of 10 to the power minus 15 meters, which is practically is not possible. Because a very small particle which is moving with a very high speed. If we actually changes the uncertainty in its positions value from 10 to the power minus 15 to the size of the atom, which is 10 to the power minus 10 meters, like we can see this here. If the value is changed to 10 to the power minus 10 meters, then this delta x m delta v equal to 5.2 into 10 to the power minus 35. So it's 10 to the power minus 10, 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 into delta v is 5.2 into 10 to the power minus 35. So delta V is 5.2 into 10 to the power minus 35 upon 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 41. So this will make us 5.7 into 10 to the power. It will be your 6, 7, it will be nearly 6, which is fine. We know that the velocity of the electron is inside the atom is about 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 meters per second. So it's fine. So what we find is, this is what is the most important thing is that what is the conclusion of this whole solving the problem is that we cannot confine particle like electron in in such a small space. It's a particle which can exist anywhere inside the atom, and the uncertainty in its position can be of the size of the atom. And because of this reason, what we find is all the previous concepts, like which was given by the Bohr, that electron can exist around the nucleus in the circular paths which are called orbits, are proved to be wrong. We cannot have electron moving always in the predetermined fixed path. It can exist anywhere, because that is what is the uncertainty principle is. And once it can exist anywhere, we don't have any fixed such paths. So that is why whole of the previous concepts were completely changed. They were completely proved to be wrong, and this is how the Heisenberg uncertainty principle moved towards the modern concept, modern structure of the atom, which is also called, it leads to the foundation of the quantum mechanical model of the atom, or it leads to the formation of the quantum mechanics.